What's good, Ravens fans? We are back with another reaction. Today, we're going to react to an NFL Network joint, Mark Andrews' journey to NFL. So, NFL Films, they do a great job. So let's see Money Mark and his journey to the NFL. Money Mark.
Oh, Lord. I'm nervous. Nervous? I don't get nervous. That's good though.
Do you get nervous before games?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Why?
I mean, like, if you don't get nervous before a game, like, what's wrong with you?
This is Mark Andrews on game day.
Money Mark. Looking good.
There's a shot of you walking down the tunnel, and there is this look like you're going into battle. Is that how you feel?
It's a mindset when you go out there in a football field, when you strap it up. It's like practice and everything's fun, but when you get to game time, it's a different person. You're playing against guys, their mindset's the same way.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like, we'll see.
What makes you a good route runner?
I'm able to, like, the ball snapped and I could feel where everybody's at and I know where people are going. And I think that's a trait that a lot of the great receivers have and tight ends have, is just being able to feel a game, understand where you're supposed to be, and just flow. Just go out there and be you.
And Money Mark is one of the best at this in the league, where he finds a way to beat safeties and corners, even though he's slower than them, right? And it's not always jump ball situations, right? He can float and get to spots where he's open. Again, linebackers, he's just faster than in a lot of cases. The ones he's not faster than, though, he just floats and finds the open space. That's why he's especially good on cross routes, because when the defense in the zone, right, they have to know where you are without looking at you the entire length of the field, right? Because you're going from literally right to left, left to right. And it basically makes the entire field your bastion, right? So he can figure out where he needs to sit, where he needs to slow down, get behind them, and then Lamar can find them. So one of the best in the league at that. And I think he's right that some of the greats all have that. So.
This is also Mark Andrews on game day.
Oh, this is my guy. They don't get this.
Andrews is a type 1 diabetic and has been monitoring his blood sugar levels every day since the age of 9.
Are those old bricks down here? Oh, it's like right here?
No, that was from the same brick. It just came and went down. Yup.
How did you know that you had it?
I was 9 years old, and my sport at the time was soccer, and I was pretty good at it. And I'd be in a game, and I'd have to go to the bathroom 3 times for a half. And my dad being a doctor, he looked at me and he was like, something's not right with Mark. And so I went and got my blood tested, and the doctor came in and informed my parents and myself that I had type 1. And I just saw my parents' reaction at that point.
Which was what?
My dad started crying. Never seen him cry before.
Really?
Yeah, my mom was obviously, shaken up. And being 9 years old, you don't quite understand, what, your life's going to entail being a type 1 diabetic. But I knew something in my life, was going to change.
What didn't change was Andrew's ability to play sports even with type 1 diabetes. What did change was the sport he was playing. So the first time you put on pads and you played in an organized game was when?
Freshman year, my first game was pretty fun. I was playing with some good friends of mine, and went, crazy. It was just like...
Did you love it? What do you mean you went crazy? You scored?
Clicked right away.
So I always love looking at these. And again, Mark Andrews really is an inspiration. I know sometimes people, even though like we as the general society would not consider like type 1 diabetes on the same level as other things like cancer and stuff like that. Right, like there's no type 1 diabetes awareness day and stuff like that, right? Or a month. But again, there's a person out there in the world who got type 1 diabetes as a kid, and his family said, okay, you got to stop playing sports, or her family said you got to stop playing sports, right? These people do exist in the world, and I think Mark Andrews is awesome because he's showing them, hey, you can do this at the highest level possible, right? You could be the best tight end in the league and have this. So shout out to Mark Andrews. Yeah.
How many touchdowns did you score?
I think I had 3 that game. Every time I touched the ball, it's a big play. I remember it very vividly. It's like after the game, and I didn't know what I was doing. It was all new for me. I was just having fun, doing what I could. And
You're scoring 3 touchdowns and you don't even know what you're doing.
I mean, I was so tired after the game. I remember the coach on the other team was like, dude, you're going to play on Sundays one day. I didn't know what that
The
meant.
coach on the other team said this to you.
Yeah.
What do you mean you didn't know what it meant?
Like obviously I was into football, but I didn't really understand.
You didn't equate that he said you're going to play on Sundays with you're going to.
And here's another thing that a lot, when you're in high school, especially from a small high school, right? Or a high school that's not as popular in sports, a lot of people out there honestly plan to go to college and get some money, right? I don't know if that was 100% true for Mark, right? But he obviously said, he didn't realize that. So, and again, another funny thing that I saw in the video is that it's so funny to me, like when you see a person playing sports and they're like obviously better than everyone else, that's in the high school range, and that's what it looks like to me, so it's so funny.
Play in the National Football League?
Exactly.
Unfortunately, the endorsement of an opposing freshman football coach only goes so far. Despite a standout career at Oklahoma, where he was a unanimous All-American and John Mackey Award winner as the nation's top tight end, questions still linger about Andrews heading into the 2018 NFL Draft.
Again, if you like football, every now and then, you got to comment on the bodies of people, okay? I'm just only, I'm going to comment on the bodies. You look at the kid's body, or not the kid, Mark Andrews' body, when he was in college, right? He a little chunky now, okay? He a little beefy. He a little beefy out there, okay? And he a big boy. Now, he's still moving good, so, it is what it is. But now, he's more in shape. Even though that big body, could help him. But again, you want to be faster than some of these defensive players now. So,
How upset were you that you weren't off the board quicker?
I was a little sad. I thought that, I had a good combine. There was no reason to knock me. I saw it, knock on Mark Andrews, type 1 diabetic. It's like, really? All right.
Andrews waited until the 3rd round before getting a call from Ravens GM and Hall of Fame tight end Ozzie Newsome.
And I remember talking to Ozzie, and he's like, "You're not too happy right now, are you?" I was like, "I'm a little pissed off." He said, "Good, keep that."
So is that the chip I see on your shoulder?
I have a little bit of chip, yeah.
That chip has fueled Andrews into becoming one of the league's elite.
I would argue, right? It's between him and Travis Kelce. Number 3, I would have George Kittle, but George Kittle, his injuries, he's just not there enough. So him and Travis Kelce are who I have in between. And again, it's arguable that, now Travis Kelce's the number 1. Travis Kelce didn't get more receptions than Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce didn't have more yards than Tyreek Hill. So it's arguable that he wasn't the number 1 his entire way throughout Kansas City. It's inarguable that Mark Andrews was the number 1 the last couple of years in Baltimore. So
in 2021, he led all tight ends in yards, catches, and touchdowns, then was named first team All-Pro.
Mark Andrews is a monster.
Do you have a favorite route to run?
I think when a play is called, there's certain routes that light up. Like this is my route.
What's his game like?
I think I've got some good speed to get by people, and people don't really expect that. So obviously going against deep crosses, maybe I'm running a line over the field and no, I'm not coming back out of it.
Okay. Sometimes you almost think he's got the grab, but not quite right. Because he makes spectacular play.
And you'll see this a lot. The deep cross on Mark Andrews is just it's just he's just open a lot of times on that deep cross. And sometimes when he's not open, that's because they're playing two people on him, underneath and over top, because he's just that good on that play. So shout out to Marky Mark.
So proud to be a part of the team. This guy's playing football for us. Mark Andrews.
Andrews has taken the idea of being a vertical threat a little too seriously. How did you learn how to hurdle people, and why is that your thing?
Didn't ever do it until I got to the NFL, and didn't do it in college really ever. And then I see this guy
Classic vision story.
over here hurdling people, and I'm like, dude, like, this is awesome. And he's like, yeah, dude.
Does Mark Andrews still jump over people like that, guys? I haven't seen him do it in a while. Let me know in the comments. I haven't seen him do it in a while. But I'm surprised it's his thing, right? So
This is awesome. You try it. He's like, just do it. Like, just do it. Like, try it out. And so once you do it, it's like, wow, that was fun. I'm not like the most beautiful hurdlers. You know, I kind of tuck my legs sometimes. Really got to get one leg up.
Oh, yeah. Horse extension. Was Nick so proud of you when you did the first time?
Oh yeah, huge. Like it was like it's like a tight end thing. Like if you're gonna be at Ravens tight end, you gotta hurdle people.
I love that.
I don't love that. I don't love that. I don't want to get hurt.
The true highlight of Andrews' 2021 season came in Chicago. There was a very sweet moment between you and a young fan when you were in Chicago.
Yeah, that was a really cool moment. You know, I remember seeing him. You know, I think it was coming back in from warm-ups, pregame, and
Did you see the sign first?
yeah, I saw the sign.
Because not everyone would know what that meant, right? It was a sign that said
Yeah.
T1D.
Yeah. Obviously, that catches my eye. You don't see things like that too often. So
Yeah.
I made sure to go over there and, say hi. And then after the game, I got to, kind of talk with them. But that's big, just being able to show kids and, families that are maybe struggling with type 1 diabetes or just living with it that they don't have to be limited. Even though you have, this disease, it shouldn't stop you from doing what you can do whatever you want in life and follow your dreams.
Again, like I said earlier, guys, the power of that, you just can't even imagine, right? Again, we deal with a lot of things every day in life as people, and just having that inspiration, especially, if you love football and you have Mark Andrews, he's your favorite player forever. And again, it's not like, there's a lot of people whose favorite players are like not really good because they know them or whatever. But Mark Andrews is arguably the best tight end in the league, and you can always say that, hey, my favorite player is Mark Andrews, and he's the best tight end in the league. So
This sport has given you so much, but to be able to give that back, and that he's telling all of his friends at school, is that one of many reasons that this sport means so much to you?
It's huge, and it's almost everything. Being able to have that impact for me is something from a young age that has always, driven me. There's always been doubters and stuff with being a type 1 diabetic, and so for me to be able to give back and use my platform playing the NFL, it's almost everything. Obviously I want to win a Super Bowl. That drives me a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But those two things in my life are very, very important.
awesome. That was really good. A change of pace here. Usually we talk about analysis and things like that. Let's just talk about how great Mark Andrews is, and let's talk about the life that he's living. So shout out to Mark Andrews. Again, leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much. Go Ravens.